You don't have to go very far or open your eyes very wide to realise that there are other worlds out there. But I'd argue that recognising the personal nature of poverty requires us to personally engage. We need to be asking the difficult questions. What's it like to live where you live? How do you make ends meet? What will this mean for you? But we also need to be listening to the response.
It used to be said that the test of a civilised society is how it treats the most vulnerable of its members. And at the moment, we are seeing national policies that are treating the poorest in our society in the worst possible way. Indeed, it seems to be a matter of national policy that the faces of the poor must be grinded into the ground. And I've never seen anything like it in my life. And I campaigned with the Child Poverty Action Group in the 1980s against the Thatcher government's policies on poverty, but these are so much worse.
So there's one challenge. How do we make sure that our neighbours are fed if the system isn't going to do it? But secondly, the second challenge is, but how do we make sure that we don't become a part of accepting politically that that's acceptable somehow? And so we have to do it while standing outside it.
As a campaigner of many years, it's not the first report I've written, the best way of making any point is through the stories of real people. And any report, if you want to highlight something, what you want is facts, you want statistics, and you want stories. That's what gels them all together. They're vital.
Telling people the truth about how lives are actually affected by government cuts, by local authority cuts, by changes in how we are as a society, how we're more and more pulled apart from each other, if you want, and communities aren't in a position to support and trust each other even to some extent anymore. That whole breakdown of how we've become more and more dependent on ourselves, and the almost the obsession with independence and people not being dependent. You know, I for one am dependent. I'm dependent on my family. I'm dependent on people I know from church and friends. I'm dependent on the community around me. I'm dependent on nurses and doctors, fire workers, all kinds of people I am dependent on. I'm not frightened to say I'm dependent. That's actually what makes a society.